working in the music industry, we see that you really tied in with Rollo, and we know that he is definitely a devout Muslim. What is it like, working with somebody like that and being in the industry? Do y'all get something wrong?
Nah, I'm just thinking.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Okay, well, don't tell me something happened. I ain't know.
Nah, it's love. It's
all love. So what up, world? We back for another episode of Infinite Vibes. It's time for up for ourselves, man. I am Moran, the man, the richest lady in the A, top floor B-Lex in the building.
My rich brother. What we at? What we doing?
Oh, man, we grinding. We doing our thing. We trying to get rich, you know what I'm saying? There's this guy who's in the studio with us.
Okay.
We've been hearing about this guy for years through the music.
Yeah.
And he's actually here in real life. He got diamonds in his mouth right now,
okay.
though. He got diamonds in his mouth. He got diamonds. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the world, King?
Man, I go by the name of Goldmouth, man. You know what it is.
Goldmouth is in the building. Goldmouth has made his Infinite Vibes debut. We told our listeners Goldmouth was coming and they was excited, man.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to be here.
Okay, man. That's what's up. Gold all in your mouth.
All in the mouth with the diamonds. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how you feeling? How's your mental? How's your spirit? How are you?
I tell everybody this, when you wake up in good health, you know what I'm saying? You free. You got a couple of dollars in your pocket, you know what I'm saying? You blessed.
Yeah.
Ain't really no reason for you not to give God glory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where does that stem from?
I mean, because I did a lot of time in the penitentiary. And then, I done lost so many homies on the street, rest in peace, Scooter. I was just on the phone with him a week ago.
Same.
The same day he died, I posted him on his birthday and he died. You know what I'm saying? And they talking about, damn, now post rest in peace. How could I do that in the same day?
Same day.
I ain't never heard that before.
Crazy.
Yeah, that shit was crazy. As soon as I posted him, 6-7 hours later, he reposted me and boom, he dead. Yeah. So, anytime we wake up, we in good health. We got money in our pocket. Being black, if we ain't in prison.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We really need to take a moment out and give God glory and give God thanks because it's a blessing to be here.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, is it true? I just have to ask this because he said he, did some time in prison. Do everybody conform to Islam or is it different for you? Is that the same thing that you did? Like when you went to prison, you kind of adapted to the Islam culture? Or what was your situation like?
Nah, my situation was different. I was actually born a Muslim. My real name is Amir Diaba.
Oh, wow.
Oh, see, learn something new.
I learned something.
So what it did for me when I went to prison, it made me, get in tune with my Lord. It made me get in tune with the religion and try to practice more effectively and do things the right way.
Yeah.
So I was born a Muslim.
So,
I didn't become a Muslim.
Do you think, seeing how, because we see some people, they go in, they do time, and they come out better.
Right.
Asking you, because I ain't never been behind that wall ever in my life. Would you say prison helped you in a sense with finding yourself?
Yeah, it most certainly did. It allowed me to familiarize myself, if that makes sense, with who I am, with what I stand for and what I want. Stand for under the most dire circumstances. So I feel like it helped me become a better person, and then also it made me become a worse person in certain aspects too, if you would, you know what I'm saying? Because it kind of like it did the opposite for me. Like when most people do this, I did 17, almost 18 years.
Yeah.
So a lot of people that get out, they be afraid to do this, afraid to do that. But shit, I got out like, fuck it, man. It's either now or never.
Right.
You survived that.
Really,
I did this. So, a lot of people go, and it's crazy because I got a lot of people, a lot of homies and shit doing life in prison. And they was straight menaces on the street. But when they go to jail, they be like, I ain't trying to get in no trouble. I'm trying to, get out of here. I'll be like, nigga, you should have thought about that when you was on the street.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
that's some real shit, yeah.
Nigga, you got life. Now you talking about you trying to be a good guy.
Right.
Because they have
Not 10 years. You got life.
They have the parole hearings, though. They be trying to look good.
But I'm like, nigga.
Now, you should have thought about it.
Right. Thought about that when you was on the
we
street.
live and we learn, right?
You wouldn't even be in prison. And now
thought.
you got motherfucking 30 years. Now you got life.
Yeah.
Nigga, it's time to turn this bitch up.
So what got you 17 years? Was it a...
Well, I went to prison for attempt murder, you know what I'm saying? Armed trafficking. A charge called burglary with a battery, you know what I'm saying? Snatching somebody out of a vehicle.
Okay.
And I was a real violent person in my day, you know what I'm saying? I'm still am.
Okay,
You
we
feel
know.
me?
about that
We
life.
gonna talk about it.
But not in the, you know what I'm saying? Not in the bragging way, but you gotta let people know. Like a lot of people, you know, they misconstrue me for trying to be hard or gangster.
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't the situation.
You a stand up dude.
You just gotta stand on your business.
That's right. Them principles.
Because if you don't, niggas will just push you and take advantage of you.
Unfortunately.
Before you know it, you'll be somebody bitch. And that's not what I'm on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I want to let people know that at all times, I'm a man.
There we
That's
go.
right.
Respect me as such, and I'm gonna give you your respect.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to nobody with no rah-rah. I'm not taking these negative and aggressive approaches.
Yeah.
I just want to be, I'm gonna respect you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you your due respect, and I just ask for the same in return. That's it.
Absolutely. Because I mean, even like the name Goldmouth, right? You know, we know you used to run with CTE, and your name used to just come. I feel like back in those days, kind of like with Rockefeller, you were like the bigs of CTE, like this.
But see, I gotta address that too. And
Let's do it.
I want to address that properly. See, a lot of people, yeah, when it came to the young gun movement, because that's what we was originally before CTE even came about. You know what I'm saying? And then once we found out that the name had already been bought or registered, the Young Gun name, because I think during that
the Young Gun
time
name, okay,
Jay-Z them had a group or something
Yeah, the
called
Young
Young
Guns,
Gun.
yeah.
So given that, we had to actually change the name to CTE.
Right.
And that was, during the time I was, on the run. You know what I'm saying? I had a shootout with the police back then. And I was on the verge of going to prison, you know what I'm saying? So I was on the run and shit. So that's when, they, Dude and Kinky B, you know what I'm saying?
He been on the show. Shout out to Kinky B.
Kinky been before?
Yeah, shout out to Kinky.
That's it. He definitely
he
been
been
here.
up here.
Love,
Yeah,
love.
we rock with Kinky. We rock with Kinky.
He's
my nigga.
solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keep 100. I ain't know King been over here.
Yeah, he been up here. Yep.
That's hard.
Shout
Yeah,
out to Tamiko. She put that together.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Shout out to King, man. That's my nigga. So so that's when the whole thing was changed to King. I mean to CTE, Corporate
Okay.
Thugs. You know what I'm saying? So shortly after, you know what I'm saying, I went to prison.
Right.
And a lot of people, they make, when dude make mention of the Goldmouth name, see, it's two of us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm Goldmouth from the Duncan block. You know what I'm saying? I want to make that clear.
Yeah.
I'm not, dude cousin. You know what I'm saying? Dude cousin, he's a working guy. From my last era, he worked somewhere like at Wendy's or one of those spots or whatever. He do what he do. You know what I'm saying? So I would never, try to misrepresent
Understood.
me for being a person that I am not.
Understood.
I'm a certified made nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm a self-made millionaire. So I'm a certified real deal man.
Yeah.
So I don't hold no nigga water. I don't tie no nigga shoes. I don't do all that.
You're not a
lame
do boy,
shit.
basically.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm not nobody do boy.
Right.
So I never want people to misrepresent that. You see what I'm saying?
So when the name Goldmouth
Yeah.
would come up in these songs,
Yeah.
are you saying that they weren't talking about
No,
you?
he wasn't talking. No, he only spoke on me on 2 songs. One of them is called "Where I'm From," where he described me as a serial killer. You know what I'm saying? Which is, that ain't true. That's just the hot shit. I don't agree with that as well. And another song that he did with Kodak Black and Boosie when he was talking about, I had just got out of prison. So I just like that to be clear. You see what I'm saying? Because niggas be trying to act like a nigga be trying to clout chase and represent some shit.
Yeah.
A nigga who, you know what I'm saying, ain't even, near lit as me, has been through the shit I've been through, can't even walk in my shoes at all.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I never told it no nigga water. You know what I'm saying? So they can address that in that fashion. You feel me?
Understood.
The homie, I ain't even gonna go there. But yeah, so we can keep it moving on.
Say
that.
less.
Okay, so I have to ask you because you are Muslim.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Agree with Muslim men having multiple wives? Because I know that's been a topic out there. I'm just curious to know, what's your take? Because every Muslim is not the same.
That's real.
Some Muslims just have one wife, some have 5. I don't know, but I'm just trying to understand, what is your thoughts on it? That's why I'm just trying to get some clarity.
I mean, I couldn't sit here and say that I'm a Muslim but disagree with the Islamic doctrine.
What that mean, Goldmouth?
So it's in there. Tell us, 'cause I haven't read it. So is it in there? Is it in there that you can have, or did somebody just have it?
No. I mean, it's a part of our religion. We are allowed to have 4 wives. You know what I'm saying?
Allowed.
If we are allowed to have 4 wives.
Not mandatory.
No, it's not. No, it's not
Okay.
mandatory. So you got some Muslim men that they are okay with having one wife. And as long as that arrangement is agreed upon within their household, then that's what it is.
Yeah.
And you got some Muslim men that may want multiple wives. If that's agreed upon amongst the women that he's dealing with, then it's permissible. But it's not a force. It's not a situation of force.
So it has to be consent on both parties for it to it to go further.
It has to be consented. It has
Can't
to make
be
sense.
behind her back, like
the reason why,
Right.
not nothing like that. That'll be considered, adultery.
Right.
If you married to a woman and you doing something else behind another woman back, I mean, it has to be known. But that came from, a lot of people don't understand where that particular religious principle came from in the Quran. It came from, and it's very interesting, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people aren't educated in Islam, so that's why I'm going to elaborate a very, short time on it. But that came from the fact that when the Islam was being established, there was a lot of Muslim brothers that was going to war against other non-believing groups. And the men wasn't coming back home.
Yeah.
And so they would have to leave their wives, to be widows. And so to prevent that from happening, a pious Muslim that had already had a wife, they would also wed this particular, the widow, to make sure that she have a loving husband that was going to treat her right and that she didn't deviate from the religion.
So it's for a purpose.
So that is what it was for.
Yeah, it's not this.
But it's just today is not that though. Or is it still happening in that?
It's still that.
Okay.
It's just that the American culture and the way that information has been like misinterpreted and misused.
Yeah.
That a lot of people feel that that's what it is. Oh no, I'm a Muslim. I'm just gonna go get me 4 chicks. That ain't what
they
it
wasn't
is. It's
born
really
Muslim.
a respectable. It's really the Islamic polygamy situation. You want to utilize that term. It's really a respectable situation, arrangement. It's not something that niggas just doing just because they want to have 4 chicks and get they, rocks off. No, that ain't for
And
them.
they actually have the stability. They have the honor. Like they honor the wives, and it's a different type of.
These my bitches right here. It ain't that type of situation.
Yeah.
Marriage in Islam is like 90% of the religion.
Right.
So we as Muslims, we take that very serious. And if a Muslim don't take that serious, he likely don't know his religion, his deen good enough, because if so, he would take that serious.
Right. It's kind of something like the Bible. It can sometimes, people take scriptures and then just put it out there and make their own version. I kind of feel like that's what sometimes happen with all different religions. It's like people just take what they want to benefit them at that, whatever that situation is. So I can respect that. So thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. Sure. I definitely just learned something new. That was tight.
Yeah.
But being a Muslim, working in the music industry, we see that you really tied in with Rollo, and we know that he is definitely a devout Muslim. What is it like, working with somebody like that and being in the industry? Do y'all get something wrong?
Nah, I'm just thinking.
Oh, yeah,
Go ahead.
Don't tell me something happened. I ain't know.
Nah, it's love. It's all love.
So do y'all let's say, okay, you work in the music industry, but y'all are Muslims, and we know how the music industry is perceived.
I'm gonna be real with you. Like, we don't supposed to be doing music as Muslims. You know what I'm saying? Because truthfully, Islam prohibit music, especially the type of music that we make. You know what I'm saying? So the Muslim community is not for that. They do not agree with that. We have been called out several times about that. And, inshallah, we will do away with music sooner than later and just be that and try to be better Muslims. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, it's a thing. It's a real situation because you got a lot of real pious Muslims that have laid down their lives for this religion, and they take it very serious. So to see that we as Muslims are representing Islam and doing music and, conducting ourselves the way that we do, in alliance with this American culture thing is really frowned upon by Muslims. But we aren't perfect. So you know what I'm saying? We definitely this is the way that we've been eating. This is the way we've been providing for our families, and we just ask that Allah understands this and forgive us for this, and that we can elevate and be better Muslims.
Absolutely.
I respect that.
Yeah.
Do you have connections, or do you aspire to be close to the Honorable Farrakhan?
See, I love Farrakhan. He's a very knowledgeable brother, but we are not the same like type of Muslims that Farrakhan is. They represent the Nation of Islam.
Okay.
And we represent the Sunnah Muslims from that deriving from the Middle East. You know
See,
what I'm
that's
saying?
why it's good to get clarification.
Of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So
Okay.
we're not.
It's two different types. Okay.
Well, we truthfully like we don't consider like them like real Muslims.
I get what you're saying. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? But we love Farrakhan, and the reason why we say that is because you know their doctrine doesn't align with our doctrine, which is true Islam. You know what I'm saying? It was more the Islam that Farrakhan represents was kind of like a black Muslim Islam type thing.
Like Americanized type of.
Yeah,
I
you
get
know
what
what I'm
you're
saying? And it was needed for when the time it came about.
Civil rights,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it came about that time during the black movement time when
Black
we was
Panther
being
audit.
discriminated against. You know, they was sicking dogs on us. We were trying to establish our basic civil rights. So, you know, they utilized that particular movement to raise the consciousness and awareness of
Black
Black
Americans.
America. So, and they utilized that in a good way. And I feel that, you know, racism is never over with, but I do feel like certain things can become outdated.
Yes.
And I think that's what Farrakhan has done. He's done a great job by, you know, continuously modifying the Nation of Islam
Right.
to be more so in this time and age with what's going on. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? While still bringing awareness to racism and real issues that affect us as black people in America.
And I agree with you because his thesis is always advocating for Black America and
Yeah.
our civil, justices, because
Yeah.
that's what, like you said, that's how it was founded.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to get it. I'm learning so much about it. I just wanted to get the clarification.
Islam is a beautiful thing, though. You know, it's a religion of discipline.
That's why I like it.
It's not something that you just gonna say, oh yeah, I'm a Muslim, and you don't really practice it. Like, we really have to pray 5 times a day. And if we don't wake up at, certain times of the day and pray and make sure that we honor our 5 obligatory prayers, and we honor Ramadan, and we provide zakat, which is, charity, take the Hajj to Mecca, whenever we can afford that. Like, it's a real deal practice. It's not just I'm Muslim and you just sit back and smoke weed or just sit back and just chill. No, it's an ongoing learning process. It's an ongoing showing thyself approval and striving to be righteous. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the Muslims in the world.
I love it.
Yeah, we do, man. Shout out to all the Muslims in the world
Yes.
doing that thing. Because, I mean, different religions, different creeds, but good people are good people.
That's right.
In the conversation. So,
Yeah.
you had to sit down for close to 20 years. You got out, you free, you out here thriving, 2 cell phones, shouty.
Right. $1 million self-made.
Right, $1 million self-made. Like, what really, gets you going? Like, what really inspires Goldmouth to just stay active?
I mean, just knowing that God put me on this earth and he only given me one time to live, one chance to live. So having said that, I know that he put us out here so we can just enjoy all the beautiful things, bounties here on earth. And so just knowing that that's the situation and we only live one time, we gotta really put our best feet forward.
Yeah.
And we gotta accumulate enough finances so we can enjoy this earth. Because although, God just gave us this earth, mankind established rules and regulations and financial order here. So we need the paper in order to be able to travel to, say, Egypt or Morocco, or take your kids to Disney or whatever the case is. So, that's that what keeps me going, knowing that I got one chance to live. I got one opportunity to do this. So I need to do it to my best ability and try to inspire as many people as possible. And, overall be a good person and leave a good legacy. And, just think, worship God while we here.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And just be the best I can be.
That's real.
Totally. Do you think with just things that you've been through, things that you are still working towards, do you think maybe there are people that have you misconstrued? Because, talking to you, you're very intelligent, you're very articulate, but, hearing, like you said, you make real clarity about your name, who you are,
Yeah.
Do you think there are a lot of people that just have you misconstrued?
Yeah, I mean, of course, when a person don't know you, they don't know you. Like these rap dudes, you know what I'm saying? They don't know these rap niggas. They don't know these niggas that's doing this music, but they connect through their music. Right. Most of these niggas have other niggas writing their music for them, so you know it ain't even them.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But you'll think, oh, I love such and such. I love this person. You don't even know this person in real life.
That's real.
Don't know.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a bar.
And then another motherfucker, 2 or 3 writers then wrote this shit. So the lyrics that you hear and you didn't feel so much in love with, it's coming from 3 different minds. It ain't even his or her mind. Mm-hmm. So now they go in the booth and perform, and you think that these people, you just know these people.
Yeah.
So really, it's kind of like the Whitney Houston story. You know what I'm saying? They said that shit, Whitney Houston was a gangster.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But the American people thought she was just the American sweetheart. Right. She was so innocent.
Right.
And she could have very well been innocent, depending on who perception that is. But you would never think she a motherfucker be strapping and to tell a nigga, shut the fuck up.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But that wasn't the nibby that America knew. So yeah, a lot of people don't know who I am as a person. And so they judge you based on a post you may post on your social media page. Right. Or based on an incident that may occur. Right. Not knowing that you really a real individual. Like you really a humble person. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't out here trying to hurt, harm, or degrade, putting nobody down. You really for the culture. You really for the people. Yeah. But it take these type of interviews, these type of encounters for people to get more familiar with who you are. Mm-hmm. And, then they can fall in love with your character or your personality as well.
How do you deal with it? Because you were locked up and then you get out into this free world and it's a bunch of, like, this shit different. Life, you know what I'm saying? Life is so different now. And it's just like when you are in those confined walls, you may have assets, but it's not the same as when you out in this world and you got people attacking you who don't know you. You know what I'm saying? You got people who want to be around you because, he got a chain on. Or you call yourself a self-made millionaire. People might want to be attached to you because of that. So how do you deal with just like having good discernment, standing on your principles? I mean,
out here in this world, I don't care what it is. If a person want to be around you, there's a motive. You see what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. Like, if it's just, man, I like to be around him because he keep bitches around him. I want to be around him because I know every time I'm around him, I don't have to buy nothing to eat. Or shit, I just want to be around him because, man, he be spending a lot of game and I be learning a lot.
Yeah.
So it's a woman want to be around you. She might want to be around you because, you got good sex or whatever. It's a reason people want to be around you. And that ain't bad at all.
Right.
Because that mean that you got something going on. Because a motherfucker don't want to be around a person that ain't got nothing to offer.
That's a bar.
That's
you
real.
just got to be able to discern what it is. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's the catch. Being able to discern why this person want to be around me. Oh, is it because I know, Dave Chappelle? Mm-hmm. Or is it because I know, you seen me on the interview or whatever the case is.
Right.
But it's a reason. And all reasons aren't bad reasons unless, you trying to utilize this reason for, manipulation or something that has a negative aspect to it. You see what I'm saying? Totally. But if it's for positivity, if you around me because you can learn something, if you're around me because you want to learn how to do real estate, because you want to be a better person, because you want to soap up the game, shit, come on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't knocking that because I don't want to, I ain't here just because I look good. I'm in this motherfucker because I'm trying to get some get content out there. Right. Mm-hmm. So we all around and hanging around each other or dealing with each other for a reason. So as long as we keeping it 100 about that reason, then everything goes smooth.
Yeah. That's real.
You into real estate?
Yeah.
Talk about that. Yeah. We like that. Talk about real estate with us. Like, share some keys to real estate.
I mean, it was simple to me. Mm-hmm. It's like 1, 2, 3. I just, came across some money, worked my way up to a certain amount of money and seen a piece of real estate that I wanted to buy. I purchased the real estate You know, I put more money into it. The property value went up. You know what I'm saying? Increased by 200,000-300,000. I sold it, did the shit again, and it's simple.
Been
it's
up
simple
ever
now.
since. The strategy.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Right.
You know, you can't be afraid to invest in the properties. And one thing about a property is that, you know, most properties gonna always appreciate.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
that's most.
yeah,
Unless it's a
most.
recession.
Right, there we
That's
go.
the only time.
and if it's a recession, you just hold off.
That's right. You
Until
just don't
shit get
sell.
back right. You know what I'm saying? So
It's still yours.
yeah,
Yep.
it's still yours. You know what I'm saying? As long as you keep
That's
paying
right.
taxes on there, yeah, it's
Right.
still yours.
Yeah, because in America you don't fully own anything, but yeah,
It's yours
you
with a
just-
fee.
And that's
you
what
got
I hate
fees.
about America, man. You really
You don't fully own
people
anything.
be hollering this ownership
Yeah.
shit stuff, but really you
Sound
never
good.
really own anything because the moment you can go buy a house cash money, pay $1 million on a crib, the moment you stop paying taxes on it, these people gonna come get your shit. They gonna take it from you.
And it be like 3 years.
Yeah, it don't
3
even-
years of back pay will get your house sold
Yeah,
to
you
somebody
only own
else
these
without
people-
your consent.
You owe these people 10, 12 bands,
And
and,
they
you didn't
still-
spend $1 million for it, and they come to take your shit.
Yeah, it's legal scamming.
That's why in different countries, when you buy something, you truly own it.
Yes.
You don't have to pay no more money on
That's
the
it.
property or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what true ownership is to me. Something you can pass down to your kids and kids. And they don't. Once you paid it off, you don't owe another dollar on it.
Or another
That's
person,
important.
right? That's
Yeah.
real.
Very.
That's real. That's true ownership. In America, it ain't no real ownership, man. You got to pay the government. If you don't pay these people they shit, they come to get it.
Yep.
And they gonna sell it to somebody
So it's
else.
not really yours.
Yeah, it's not really yours.
It's like that's why it's good to invest in real estate, because once you know the system, it's not about how much you own. It's about monetizing and flipping and capitalizing on the moment of what the asset is. It's like, I'm not finna sit here and say I want to pass this down to Ricky who don't.
Right.
We know he don't know what
Yeah,
he doing. We
right.
know he don't. We gonna benefit from it now, but we can also put things in trust and we can protect it in that way.
Yeah.
Have board members, but it's still a process. But either way, you still gotta pay taxes regardless,
Yeah.
right? So it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And I made one of my most lucrative and smartest investments I made was I bought 2 blocks of gold
Okay.
almost 5 years ago. And y'all know how much gold done appreciated in the last 5 years. Because, you know, back in the day, you know, the United States currency used to have to be backed up by gold.
Right.
They couldn't print off $1 million if they didn't have $1 million in gold to back that up.
Right.
So because they just started spontaneously spending money, printing money
Without a sense of
without
accounted
something
for.
to back it up, that's how that what created inflation.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And that what created the American debt ceiling so high. So gold is like so precious, so valuable right now that, you know what I'm saying, if you truly investing in gold, I ain't talking about these cheap ass diamonds. I'm talking about gold. Like your money is safe and solidified, unless it just take a nosedive one day, which I doubt, because throughout the last 20, 30 years, gold has been increasingly going up. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Incredible.
Yeah,
That's dope. I like your investment.
Yeah, man.
strategies.
so nigga, I got blocks of gold on these niggas' ass.
Oh,
They
hey.
got gold on, nigga. I got blocks of
Blocks
gold.
of the
for
gold.
real.
Put that in a song.
Came
Right.
from blocks.
That's
Came
hard.
from moving blocks to buying blocks of gold. You dig?
I
That's
love that.
hard.
That's
Good
why they call me
turnaround.
Gold Mouth. Let's get it.
There we go. Nah, man, like you have a very interesting, very unique story, man. And I just feel like we really
That's
just
real.
need to see more of that. Could you see yourself doing a movie like a biopic?
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I'm with all that.
Yeah, definitely, man. We need that.
So the music on the way. What you got going?
Yeah, so I got my project called Who Is Gold Mouth is turned in now, so we about to get ready to drop. You know what I'm saying? I got a single coming off that project called Two Industry. I'm talking about all these fake ass industry niggas. They become Two Industry once they get a little fame, get a little money and shit. So I wanna talk about these Two Industry ass niggas. So that's gonna be the first single I did. We already shot the video, and it's kind of like a scary movie.
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying? We got zombies. We got ballerinas doing motherfucking ballerina
Okay,
in
artistic.
trees.
Yeah, I fuck with that.
You know what I'm saying? We
Gotta
got
invest.
ballerinas.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
doing they turning flips in trees and real trees. So, you know, we shot the video for that, and I'm just really working on my project, Who is Goldmouth, because a lot of people don't know who I am.
Absolutely.
Like you know, y'all was just saying. So it's important for people to get to know who I am.
That's
you know what I'm
right.
saying? So they can really so they can fall in love with me like they didn't fall in love with all these fake ass niggas that been selling them all these fake ass stories. You know?
That's real.
Yeah, one thing I do love that you said in this interview, like you said, at all times you are a man,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, and we do know, like we saw what happened with the controversy. We saw you had to, you know, you decided to handle your business.
Yeah.
Do you think that incident put you in a position where people can take you serious? Like, okay, he not playing around, or do you feel like it was one of those scenarios where people have you misconstrued? Like,
I mean, of course, you know what I'm saying? Like, people definitely got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's cool. Hey.
But you gotta understand, it's kind of like you going up against a giant. Having celebrity is a very, very powerful, dynamic, influential thing. It's a real deal thing. And when people have grown to love these celebrities, they can't do no wrong. Celebrities can't do no wrong in their eyes. It don't matter what type of evidence you have. That's why you didn't see so many celebrities go to trial and walk right out that motherfucker. That's why you didn't see so many celebrities get away for shit for so long.
Yeah.
I got nothing but love for R. Kelly and his music, but R. Kelly was so motherfucking powerful that he was able to play with these kids for all of these motherfucking years, and everybody was overlooking it because of what?
They turned to cheat because of the money,
he was
the
a
power.
celebrity. So even when the little girls came forward and said, "Oh yeah, he's pissing on me," "Oh that's him on video," his fans like, "Fuck that! That wasn't on him.
Yeah.
They lying on him. They hating on him. They just trying to take a black man down." Now he was really pissing on motherfuckers. You see what I'm saying? Like he was doing what he was doing. I don't give a fuck if a nigga agree with what I said or not. You
It's
know what
all
I'm saying?
good.
Like, it is what it is.
It is what it
You
is.
know, people really be doing a lot of fucked up shit.
They do.
But because they be celebrities,
Idolizing them.
Yeah.
these people idolize them, and they can't do no wrong in their eyes.
Yeah.
So,
When they human.
but in all actuality, what these motherfuckers need to start doing, they need to start holding these people accountable for their actions.
Facts.
And stop idolizing these people, putting them on these godly pedestals. Because these motherfuckers got a lot of flaws and do a lot of fuck shit, and that shit need to be addressed, and they need to be accountable for their actions.
100%.
Hey, I mean, the way we look at life,
Straight up.
if Goldmouth had to handle his business, the reason why he did it, and we not here to judge that. So
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I don't give a fuck about how a nigga fan or how you know how a nigga feel about what I gotta do. I live my life. Nobody don't pay my bills. So I don't do a motherfucking thing for me. When I was laying in that cell for dinner 20 years, ain't nobody laid that for me. And when I die, ain't nobody gonna lay in that casket for me.
Right.
And when I gotta go see Allah, ain't nobody gonna motherfucking stand there and be judged but me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Totally.
But one thing I can say is that once you going against a giant, and I ain't speaking on a particular individual, I'm talking about the dynamic of celebrity.
Yeah. We know exactly what you're
It's
talking about.
very hard for people to see things out of your view, see things from your point of view, because they gonna automatically sign with the motherfucker they've been listening to or watching on TV for all these years.
Yep.
But when the tables really turn on the motherfuckers though, they go to making jokes like shit, no Diddy.
Yeah.
No Diddy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the internet and the people are undefeatable. But they would turn on the motherfucker.
Yeah.
They clout chase, they dick ride. You see what I'm saying? They go with the trends.
Yeah.
So whatever is trending, that's what they on.
Yep.
yeah.
When Diddy was out here, you know what I'm saying? Shit, motherfuckers, they couldn't, Diddy was that nigga.
Yep.
He got the money, he popping the bottle, he pulling up in the car. So now he can't do no wrong.
Right.
But soon as the industry, as soon as the world turned on him, now everybody making Diddy jokes.
Right.
So these people, they'll side with a motherfucker today. But the tables are turned. And then they'll be against that same person.
Yeah.
That's the thing about being a celebrity, being in the public eye, is that the same people that turn you up be the same motherfuckers that stump you when you down.
That's real.
That's so true.
That's real, man.
So I don't give a fuck about popular public opinion.
Right.
I'm gonna stand up as a man and do what I'm supposed to do as a man.
Yeah.
Because whether a motherfucker agree with me or not, I got a moral code and a value system that I gotta uphold and live with and go to sleep with and wake up and look in the mirror and be satisfied with who I am as a human being, as a man.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I'm always stand on my shit.
Yeah, because that fan club is real. Like, they always talk about the Bayhive, how if you go against Beyonce, they start going. I mean, I just think people so invested into other people's lives. And, you know, when you're programmed and conditioned, you think that's just what you got to do. When really, you could really be taking that same energy how you invested into Beyonce life. You could be invested into your life
yourself.
and not be so invested into somebody else's business because she don't even know you.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when that Jeezy shit happened, man, motherfuckers was coming at a nigga all sideways.
See, the fan clubs.
Yeah, the fans. I guess his fans would be called the snowmans or some shit. I don't know, the snows or whatever. That's what he need to do. But
I don't even know.
But I'm like, fuck the snow. Check this out. This is what we gonna do.
Right.
If your favorite anything, you know, because one thing about me, I never, you know, I vouch for the homie even when I shouldn't have been vouching for him.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Just being a real nigga, just being a real man and I love to see black people elevate.
Right.
Especially when you got a story of coming from nothingness
Right.
to somethingness.
Right.
That's a very beautiful story. So I never want to be the person to tear another person down.
Right.
Right.
Nah, I'm not for that. But when you look at an individual and you got 20 people saying the same thing about this individual, then it comes, you know, now these people everybody ain't lying.
Right.
Everybody don't you know talk to each other. Everybody in this group are not friends. So it got to be some truth in this shit.
Right.
If you got 10 people saying every time, you know, Goldmouth come to my house, some money come up missing out of my drawer or some come up missing, then it has to be some motherfucking truth to this. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yes.
So you got a Kinky B, a Blood Raw, Slick Puller, a Freddie Gibbs, a Carbon 15, all these people saying the same thing about this individual. Now his manager, them, everybody else I done seen him work with. It got to be some truth to this.
Truth, yeah.
So that means that we have a character defect that, you know, that needs correcting.
Right.
And so I put hands on him, hopefully, you know, hoping that it'll chastise him, so it'll start to correct it.
So as a person that, you know, you also in that category as far as like people that's on the opposite side, like you on the side of Kinky, you on the side of Freddie Gibbs. Did that do something for you spiritually? Do you feel like it's over with for you? Can you let it go? Is it put to rest? Where you at with it now?
Like I say, I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? I have no regrets about what I did. But I'm not finna make that my career.
That's not your story.
Right.
Yeah, that ain't none of my story.
That's not your story.
That's the point. Yeah.
Nah,
It was an act.
It was a moment.
It was
Yeah.
a moment. Yeah, it's another moment.
An
They
action.
can you know sweep it on the rug like it never happened, or say, oh, he's a clout chaser. Your Goldmouth ain't shit. He fake. Whatever. Cool. Fine. I did what I did. Don't regret what I did, and we gonna keep it moving.
Standing on that.
That's what
I respect
is,
that.
For sure. Well, Goldmouth, I gotta admit, we learned a lot from you today,
We
man.
sure
We
did.
learned a lot from Goldmouth today. Y'all tap in with this guy, but before we slide, we always like to ask our guests just to leave off with just positive words of affirmation. You dropped a lot of gems. You gave a lot of real estate game and gold game. Drop some more gems before you slide, man.
Yeah, so I just want everybody to know, man, for real, what motivate me to do this, just the platforms, the music, you know, all of this stuff, man. You know, we got a lot of people that's not in a position to do these things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my story is one of those unbelievable stories, man. You know, it's like I did the impossible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like growing up, being raised in Macon, Georgia, in poverty, and, you know, being born to basically, you know, my parents owned drugs. Everybody around me owned drugs, are dying, gang banging. I went the opposite way.
Yeah.
So after, you know, catching that time in prison and still overcoming the odds, I want people to know that it don't matter. No matter what you went through, no matter what type of hardship you had to undergo an experience. You know what I'm saying? You gotta truly believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta truly be willing to invest in yourself. Mm-hmm. If you ain't willing to spend your last $10 in yourself, don't expect nobody else to spend they last $10 into you. Mm-hmm. So you gotta be willing to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta believe in yourself. Even when the shit may not seem like it making sense, man. Mm-hmm. You feel me? It may not make sense to the world until the world get a whiff of what you got going on.
Right.
Like a lot of people that's successful, man, people told them, man, that shit ain't gonna work.
Facts.
Oh, man, that's a stupid idea.
Mm-hmm.
Now those people are the same people that's being praised for that same idea. Mm-hmm. So it may not make sense to a lot of people, or it may not make sense even to your closest loved ones. But don't let nobody stop you from believing in you and investing in you.
Right.
And pursuing your goals, because that's your vision. It ain't nobody else's vision. That's the reason it's your vision.
Right.
People can't see your vision the way you see your vision. You know what I'm saying? So stick to your vision and always move forward, man, regardless of what hardship you encounter. And that's what makes us winners.
Wise
Man,
words.
clap it up for that, man.
Hey, I like
Clap it up for
that.
that. Go Mouf,
Yes.
man. Please give our listeners the social media. Let us get in contact with you. King.
Yeah, you want to find me on social media. It's at _Goldmouth, GOLDMOUF, _Goldmouth.
Absolutely. Tap in with
Tap
Goldmouth, Infinite Vibes, Moran, the man, Top Love, B-Lax, and Goldmouth in the
Hey.
building, man.
Let's do it.
Damn.
Gold mouth full of lessons.